Hello everybody, it's me, Glitch Trooper, aka the original card game for the win, and kinda got something I haven't done for a while, partially because I've been out of being able to use the game for a while. We have another festival event, although admittedly, this might have something to do more with Kaldheim than me being out of the game for a while, because these events are usually based around, like, divinities, so like you had your festivals with Theros, uh, and it had its gods. Now we're having a festival here, and it has to do about its gods. So it works appropriately. But anyhow, this one has a bit of a story behind it in a way, partially because of it being Kaldheim, the land of great tales. So festival, Tales of Kaldheim. Listen now to the Festival of Tales, your stories from across the World Tree, the bridge between the realms. From the halls of Starnheim to the mists of Littjara, it is the World Tree that links Kaldheim together. Those who know it can travel across the realms, as long as the god Isika, Isika sees fit to let them. I stumbled for a moment there. She was born of the tree, and she keeps it well. She shares the tree with the clever cosmos beast Toski, her messenger and spy, who hears all and brings new secrets to her. If you ever find yourself between the realms, give your thanks to Iseka, and prepare yourself to become a part of the next tale we tell. Okay, now as for how this actually works, this is kind of like some previous special events where you use pre-constructed decks. Now, here you can expect them and kind of see what they're about. Now I've kind of decided between my 3 allowed wins which decks I'll use, but I'll try to do something different. Win with them in turn, and then going. Now, each win will be very distinctly different deck. You could tell I've been building money towards my my new pet, which will be a Black Lotus. I think it's still in the store. If not, that would be weird because it didn't have any announcement of limited time only. It does for the bear, but I might actually get the Kaldheim Mastery Pass before it goes completely out, so I might get the bears anyhow. I'm not really thinking of getting a Mastery Pass with Strixhaven, but you never know when it comes to a set. I mean, if I get enough gems in time, who knows? There's just some I'm more interested in than others. I really wish I could have done this back in Theros Beyond Death, and a few other sets like Dominaria, but it looks like I'm going to be a lot closer now with Kaldheim. And the event itself, 2,500 gold or 500 gems. So, as you can see, I'm saving my gems. I'm willing to spend some gold along the way for the right things, like an event like this or something special in the store, but otherwise, eh. But anyhow, back to the decks and why this matters. You get to have 3 wins. You can play as much as you'd like, but you can only use the event decks. But there's more decks than there are wins. It's like 7 decks here, and out of them, there's some interesting twists on each one. With Call for Aid, you have a couple of cards that can allow you to access your sideboard. Anytime that you pull a card from outside the game, the rule is in MTG Arena that you have to have a sideboard set up to have a limited number of choices, maximum 15. However, this sideboard's only 7, so it's a little bit more limited, and it's only 1 copy of each. So it's kind of... I'm wondering why this one's in red. I don't know exactly there. But anyhow, there's other things that allow you to do this, but it's kind of a general rule that whenever you get something from outside the game in MTG Arena, you always have to have a sideboard associated with a deck that has that. So Call for Help, a lot of it has to do with using that dynamic. Demon's Rise, I mean, it has this story about Carter here, the saga of this particular legendary demon. The funny thing is, even though it has some really strong demons, they are not legendary, and they do not have card art, so... Carter, sorry. So, I'm a little confused on that one. I mean, it looks like a good deck design. It has some big honkin' demons and dragons, but at the same time, I think they could have went with Carter here and actually had him actually around. That would have been nice, but somehow, no. I don't get that one. Foretellings. This one is one of them I'm going to be playing. It's an interesting thing because it'd be the first time I've been in an event like this that had a preset companion. Now, this one's, even though this is mostly blue and red, this deck is like classic green, in that it will slowly start up and then finally start hitting. Huge. So it's kind of a big finish deck, not a speedy deck. I usually curve them out a bit myself, have always a little bit of fast things and a bit of slower things to build up to. But I can see how that works for extreme drama. Okay, so at least I have one deck now that's kind of a slow start, but even then I've got some things that might allow me to do stuff early. So I at least try to curve even the ones that I'm doing as a big finisher type. So that was Foretellings. Now, another thing about Foretellings I forgot to mention is it uses the new dynamic of Foretell, and also uses adventures. So it has a lot of these things where the cards are kind of starting up in a temporary exiled state and then come in later. Also funny to note, it also has a Shark Typhoon. So yes, the Sharknado has arrived. But that's one I'm going to try using later for more than one reason. We have Heroes of Myth. Now, it has companions slotted here because it has one of the companions actually there, but it's not set as a companion. So Gigantha the Wellspring isn't set as a companion, even though Gigantha is in the deck. But otherwise, it has a lot of powerful legendary creatures. The funny thing is, I don't think it has a single creature here that isn't legendary. So that's kind of a bit different. On the other hand, that's a really good way to play Kolvari, because Kolvari gets bonuses whenever you have enough legends on the field, so there you go. Also, I do like the fact that it has multiple copies of the god cards, because then you can actually use their bimodal aspects and have both on the field at the same time. I'm kind of wanting to do that. Wait, does it have 2 copies of Alrund here? No, it does not, but that's fine. Just checking. Loyal Companions is a bit dogs and cats, and a bit otherwise, but its emphasis is on dogs and cats, because Rin and Ciri and Maskwood Nexus being included here is interesting. I might not really go with this deck. Again, I've already kind of pre-decided. But it is kind of funny that you'd make everything every creature type, including the fact that they're all suddenly cats and dogs. Which is why it would combine with this one. So I can see the logic in that deck as to what they're doing. The Golden Horde has treasure involved. We have Goldspan Dragon. I mean, we have Torbrand here to ramp up the red. Scourge of the Maul the Skyclaves for equipment. But other than Goldspan Dragon, we also have Seize the Spoils for more treasure. Both of those are really related treasure, as is Magda, Brazen Outlaw. So there's going to be loot in this deck. It's also interesting that it has Kinrith Return King. It doesn't have much white sources, but that's because it doesn't have any white cards. It also has Embercleave, so one of the biggest honkingest equipment in Standard right now, which I do have myself, and is awesome. I do tend to play it kind of as intended, but sometimes not, because it also makes a great way to save a creature real quick, defensively, not just offensively. You just surprise, oh, you were blocking me with that, you were trying to block me, you're trying to hit me with that? Nope, nope, nope. Like, suddenly, it's not just got first strike, it's got double strike. Now, this one is, It Touches the Grave, the last one. It's got a lot of snow in it. It's also got things related to death. So, like Narfi, Betrayer King. Egon, God of Death, which I think is maybe not the best when it comes to god cards. Because, I mean, you know me, I like to protect my decks and my stuff. And exiling things from my graveyard, yeah, that's a bit iffy. But admittedly, there's not many things in this particular deck that would resurrect your creatures. So it's because it's a preset deck, it's more like you're just playing a different style. Like, I'm not going to be able to resurrect things other than Narfi. Narfi can resurrect himself. So that's always a good thing there. But otherwise, it could be a little risky in ways, but it's a different style, kind of a berserker style where you detriment yourself to detriment an opponent even more, because Egon does have great stats for his casting cost. Like, 6/6 and Death Touch is nothing to sneeze at, especially for just 3 mana. That's kind of ridiculous. But again, he has that terrible price to be paid for that, because you keep exiling things from your graveyard, and if you can't, you have to sack them. Of course, you also get to draw a card. Now, distinctly, this is also the one set out of these that has Teferi. Well, I should say just a Planeswalker in general. It happens to be Teferi, but it has Teferi, who was a Planeswalker I always was a bit of a fan of, because I just like that temporal trickster aspect of him. I mean, the dude just knows how to make sure that people get played. As for other things, it's interesting to note that we still have something having to do with this changeling aspect of something having all creature types. Faceless Haven doesn't say changeling, but it has changeling. Whenever it goes into creature mode, it has vigilance and all creature types for a turn. Now, out of those, you might be pondering which ones I'm going to be playing, but I will be playing Touch of the Grave, Foretellings, and Heroes of Myth. Not exactly in that order, because I'd kind of like to go with Foretellings first. So, let's do the little buy-in. Choose deck. I will go with Foretellings first. And you can switch between, and like with other events, you could probably switch between them in between, so I'm not stuck with this. At least I don't think so. Let's do a little playing here and seeing how long it takes me to win. I mean, if this takes more than an hour, I'll probably complete the event off screen. or so. Maybe a little overboard. We'll see. I know, I've tried to limit myself a little bit, but it's well, I don't know. I've been getting faster upload speed recently, so does it really matter as much? I'm not entirely sure. Aha, we have an interesting hand. And you can kind of see how adventures were kind of a lead-in for doing things with Foretell, because it's kind of a similar thing. They temporarily exile the creature, and then you get to play it later at a possibly different price. At a possibly different price, my name. Well. Why not? Going on an adventure, the giant has. This adventure is just stomp. We have the Clarion Spirit. They're opting. Glade plugin. Do we have a company running on this, or is just somebody memeing? Because I have seen some funny names for people in various ways over time, and Glade plugin sounds like they're doing a meme thing of some sort. Let's see, that would be 1 and 1 blue if I cast a sorcery center. Do I want to zap? So I kinda want to zap. I'm gonna zap. Hello! I have a giant! You got a flying spirit that'll just fly over the giant's head, despite how tall he is. I mean, they're one of the few things where a giant size having reach made sense was actually one where you turn your creature into a giant with reach. It wasn't an actual giant with reach. I mean, you'd think more giants would have reach. Because they're really tall, so they'd easily catch a flying creature that expects things to be lower down. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna fly down, dive bomb this guy. Oh, there's a giant! Like, you'd think that would happen more often, but not exactly. The most exemplifying card I've seen where a giant having reach has been Tall as a Beanstalk, where you enchant a creature to have power and toughness boost, reach, and it's a giant in addition to its other types. Again, that whole thing makes sense. That's an interesting one. I will take that. Okay. Hey, let's go on another adventure. Queen of Ice, Rage of Winter. Stormwing Entity, fly in. Yeah, I'll leave that there. Okay. They're gonna look at my hand, draw a card, but these decks are presets, so if anybody like me looks ahead at all the decks, they pretty much know what I'm playing. They just might not know my exact card at the time. Okay. I think I'll actually get my Cosmos Charger ready, actually. Nah, I'll Demon Bolt. Tell. Go over there. Yeah, that's wearing out the enemy troops. Okay, there you two go. Right now, my quests are very ambiguous right now, so going between various decks is perfectly fine. One's just attack with a lot of creatures, and one is just play a lot of creature spells. So, no colors involved, so I can choose anything right now. So, interesting timing. Thought how these decks don't really have that many cards yet. Including lands, but yeah, I do have a significant number now, so okay. Cosmos Charger. Okay. They're grabbing something from the sideboard. For some odd reason, Raven's Warning reminds me of Medemo's Prophecy, just in that it's a saga about a prophecy, or a prophetic event. No, it's not exactly the same colors, because the other one's like all blue and this one's blue and white, but And this one has more things it can do. Like again, that card from you own from outside the game is definitely always something interesting. So yeah. Okay, they face Fetters, because that's the biggest flyer I've got. However, we also have another Stormwing entity. The thing about these event decks is they also tend to have more copies of things than usual. Actually, I will take the island and the Scorn Effigy slightly later. Can I even pay 2 for that? I don't think so. Oh, it's foretelling from my hand is cheaper because of the Cosmos Charger. I mean, it may be fettered a bit, but it's still good. Oh, protection. Just go ahead and do that. Point. Yep. Yep, you blocked it partially. Things happening. We have more birds. Yeah, that one has to be exiled, so... Although it is particularly powerful, and that's why it has to exile itself. Take an extra turn after that. You don't see that one very often. But they had to get themselves wound back up after all that. Okay, my turn has arrived. They could left during that whole time. Queen of Ice. Go ahead. And I'll prep through with a macro save. Why not just all out? Okay, this will be a smash fest. Wait, are they redeciding? Are they gonna bulk up on one? Okay, okay. They have managed to finally stop my rampaging giant. That took a while, didn't it? That was a good game. Will I be able to actually play Karuk of the Macro Sage? Clarion Spirit. I think I will. Karuga, let's do this. Whee! Oh, that sped things up. Oh, and they have conceded before I actually attacked and did the finishing blow. But I managed to actually play my companion, Karuk of the Macro Sage. Sweet. Funny thing is, I don't think I've built a deck around him before because of that condition of things having to be 3 mana or greater. It's a bit iffy. Okay, I fulfilled some of my stuff for the day. But I do have Iseka God of the Tree, so now I have a special stylized card for. And there is something I'm going to check immediately having to do that, actually. So I will back out of the event for a moment. And... I want to do Collected, Kaldheim, Mythic Rare. Okay. Yeah, that's what I wanted to know, is if it had... Because it was a 2-part card, I wanted to know if both sides got special art. That's awesome. Okay, okay, I'm going back to the event now. I just wanted to check that out as fast as I could. Okay, so now I have to go to a different deck. Because I did Foretellings. Now I want to do Touch of the Grave. And I think I'll end with Heroes of Myth. But out of all these decks, this is the only one with a Planeswalker card, and it's Teferi. So, that's interesting. I mean, I don't think he's actually in, like not doing anything in Kaldheim. No, Kea is. Okay, let's see. I have him as my initial card. I could do a little bit of stuff with this. Again, different style. I will put down the snow covers. It's a weird trade. Just because I'm playing an event deck. Our pets still get to hang out, no matter what. If you're on, little dragon, you might take a break as cheerleader duty in a little while, but not immediately. Okay, hang on to that mana source and suffer the consequences. Hi. Or will you just let it go? And, by the way, hello. Because a lot of people will hang on to a mana source creature, even more so than a legend. It's something where you gotta decide, are you really needing that ramp up? I will do this for a snow-covered swamp. That was a very good swamp. It's kind of smart, but gotta take care of the dog-cat combo quickly. Because dead weight won't be able to take them out because they're a 4/4. They're combined together in an interesting way. Okay. Maybe next time I get to play Teferi. Cool. Better Legion. The Gilded Goose is on the loose. I understand. Okay, I can actually do a couple things. I wish to proof this. Poof. Hi, Teferi. Nice to see you again.
Let's make this quick.
I will draw a card.
Ideas, like seconds, are fleeting.
Oh, I gotta play Faceless Haven soon? Sweet. I will, in fact, attack. You can let either of them go. But will you? Again, as I've said, I've seen people hang on to mana source creatures longer than they have some other things. Let's just see how well this goes.
I do love a good puzzle.
Oh, this is gonna be funny. It's not really out. So I get to play my Faceless Haven and Narfi. That's interesting. Squad Commander. Oh, they gave in, and I have my victory. I did get to play Teferi, though, which is something I was wanting to do there. So that's interesting. Okay, that's sweet. They saw they were a tad corralled. I had really good luck that round. And now I have Aseka's Chariot, which is one that I'm eyeing later. I'm not sure when I'll exactly grab it, but it will get there. Yes, all the stuff. Oh, and the thing is that, if you want to know why I suddenly got a mastery thing here, the previous prize was an orb. So, thank you, orb. Going back to the event, because I'll take care of where I'm putting the orb later. Okay, Touch of the Grave to Heroes of Myth. So now we're on Heroes of Myth. And again, this thing has a ton of crazy stuff. I've done some theme deck before that was based on a lot of legends. More than once, actually. But to the degree this one is based on legendary creatures almost exclusively, no. I like also putting in things that are related to that legend, too, to make it, in a way, even more thematic. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this is where things get nuts very, very quickly. I will play this bi-modal card and play it in red source mode as Crag Crown Pathway. It's an interesting double land there. Oh, he's going to the Throne of Death. Okay. It's going to be interesting. Well. Gallia of the Endless Dance. Say hello. Fabled Passage. Oh, there's Fire Prophecy. Realm Gully Generous. Hello again, my friend. I once did a historic-themed brawl deck based on you. You probably knew that. Calls the dead. There will be zombies showing up very soon. Yeah, zombies are showing up very soon. Okay. I'm just gonna have to burn them. Put a card into your library. No. There is a combo with that I'm thinking of doing later at some point. Exactly how it'll work out, but I've got an idea for Fire Prophecy where you put something very strategic back into your deck. I just don't know if I want to do it in a deck that I'm really thinking of or something different, but there's a few cards that if somebody mills them from your deck, you can do something. So it's a nice little surprise. I'm going, I didn't think you could do that. Fire Prophecy. Copy of her. Oh, ooh. Volley. Sweet, okay. From Gully. That knocked that one out. Okay. It does have the touch, so you gotta watch out for that. Okay. Let's go red. I think I'm gonna go Bore because herself because she gets bonuses from extra legends. No attacks yet. I'll do something. Spider, though. That would help. Not gonna be able to block it all without having issues. But I can take out that. Castle Garenbrig? Okay, that's just like saying place some Giant Soul of the Wild. Yeah, that helps. Ooh, what do I charge in? I mean, she is pretty big and she's got vigilance, and so logically, blocking just with Narfi would... Oh, never mind. Say blocking just with Narfi would be good because he can be resurrected later, so... It was interesting. That thing is huge. Okay, so it doesn't tap them, it just makes it where they won't untap them next time. Wait, can I actually play the Prismatic Bridge? No, I cannot. Boost against that flyer. Reach. Okay, she's got vigilance. Oh yeah, there's the icebreaker crack. I forgot about that one. Just hanging out there. So yeah, that's an oops. Don't know if it'll cost me this round. There's other copies of these, so I might actually be able to play Prismatic Bridge later. Yeah, the thing about it is there's more of a timer on this version than others, so it kind of makes you make decisions a bit too fast. I might have to do this. Yeah, I'll need to do this round again. The crowing. Are they into actual crows and birds? I'm wondering about that. Oh, still got me quest progress regardless. And that's mainly what I'm doing. Well, it's not just what I'm doing this for. I really do like these alt art do like these alt art styles. So, I mean, that's good. Also, as much as I see a lot of things going for it, that's kind of... Okay, this could be hilarious later. Yeah, I do need land. However, I'll take this land. See how this works. Gods. Because this one has a lot of god cards in it. But that can also go not just towards a creature that's chosen type, but also a legendary creature spell in general. I've been hit with Bone Crusher Giant. How about the most indestructible of squirrels? Or would that be another squirrel? I'm not sure. You did see it had indestructible, right? I mean... See, this is how you play Shock whenever there's an indestructible creature on the board. I'm just saying. Like, he has to attack this time, and I can draw a card. Because that's how Tusky works. It would be cool if I could play with this magic. Oh, you got you bolted. Gagla? Say hi. Not my first time using Gagla, but I think in this deck there's no humans to actually help activate his special ability, which you have to return a target human you control to your owner's hand, and then Gagla gains indestructible until end of turn. But that's not going to work in a deck with no humans. So there's a catch-22 on that one, but still, I mean, Gagla's huge. He's basically Kong. So you gotta do him. You gotta do the Kong. Okay, that's one way to slow down a giant rampage of mutants. Oh, Topsky will attack regardless, because that's what he is. And he's got indestructible, so he'll just keep doing his thing. But yeah, the gods are a bit more mortal in, or a little more killable, I should say, in Kaldheim than in some previous sets where god cards were involved. Like, they don't have, like, any kind of death protection right there, so that's what it is. Hello? Okay. I happen to have an additional copy. This is the issue with Legends having extra copies in a deck, is I can't really use this right now. I mean, in a way I can, in a way I can't. And admittedly, it would free the previous one from that effect, but then it still wouldn't be able to attack that turn. Eh. Raven formed my colony. Well, now I have a flyer. The way I envisioned it happening. I think Iseka is like the only way to actually play Prismatic Bridge in this deck, because you can't use the white. Demonstrate the legend rule. Now I have an untapped version. Now if I get Prismatic Bridge, I can play it now alongside Iseka, because her ability complements your ability to play it. Because one of them is like other legendary creatures you control have vigilance and tap to add 1 mana of any color. You have a Cosmos Charger. I don't have anything flying for. So I might have to go another. Volcanic Salvo. We had just launched lava. This is officially for this round, so I'll have to go again. Let's see how much quest progress I have. Almost. Was I really just one away? Yes, I was. So I'm about to get that quest done, and a pack of Kaldheim, so that's good. But remember, with these events, they're for a limited time, and they might not really last that long. Like, some of them don't even last the week. Some of them are only on certain days of the week, so you gotta kind of come in and check periodically. You might miss out on them. I caught this one. It's a good thing. So we'll see how this goes. The Moon King. Okay. Well, let me see. Does this have... I don't think I'm going to be able to do as much with this. I'm gonna have to mulligan. Well, there's at least mana towards this. Here's the good thing about having extra copies of Legends. So you might have one to spare at the beginning whenever you have to mulligan. I will take the blue. Downside with this deck is you have a bit of a slow start, so kind of like the one with Cruiser Stage. Kind of got a little bit of a lead in. Of course, and maybe I think they're also playing a similar deck. Oh yeah, that's the one that has a bit of a lead down. I was just talking about that one. It seems like they're playing that one. It's another time that I probably need to play the Reinhardt Crest. That'll help. And there's enough gods in this deck where I can actually play that, and I know that it'll probably come up. So that has actually come in handy. It only really adds green, but it can go towards certain things. Just a bit picky about it. Okay, they're foretelling. They've got like 3 foretold cards. And whenever you use foretell, they don't get exiled face up as normal, they get exiled face down, so I won't see what those are. Very appropriate match, though. Because, like, he's got this mystic background with the eyes, so it's like, what a sage, foretelling things. So that looks rather appropriate. Oh, Raven formation. Well, I got a flyer now. That one's a weird trade-off. Behold the multiverse. Okay. Artwork of Nico Eris, one of the new planeswalkers that was introduced in... Okay, I will take the black. And... Hello, Kagla. Nice to meet you, buddy. See, that's 3 and 2. Yeah, I have enough to pay the keeper on those. Something I haven't had the opportunity to do on those before, so yeah. Of course, I also have a fire prophecy. No, I'll actually use them. After having a rest. Hi, how you doing? I introduced myself with a very large ape. Where does the 300-meter gorilla sleep? Wherever he wants. Well, this depiction isn't really that big. It's not quite as tall as Kong. Which I don't know if he's really 300 meters, but let's face it, Kong is always very tall. I'll take the red, actually. Pay the carrot. go all out. You see, I will take this one and this one, thank you. I will actually do that. Because Arasta needs a boost in case of flyers. Cosmo Charger will stop the Raven, but the others say nevermore. Do they have enough to... No, that's not what I thought they were going to do. I thought they were going to play Krug on the macro stage. Because I was counting up and thinking, is that enough to both pay the companion transfer cost and to... Well, they're foretelling now. Okay, I will, of course, pay the kicker. I will do that, and do that. I will power up that. Okay, creature I control. Creature I don't control. And good game. There we go. And it was pretty close to the hour mark that I tend to go for with these. I can tend to go for. It's not an absolute thing. And that definitely clicked the rest of my quests. Because that gave me enough experience to pop up over the next hurdle. I don't know if that doubled or if that was really an extra pack. And you can also play indefinitely afterwards in a lot of these events, even if you've already got your wins in. Okay, so that's one seal because that's Mastery Pass only. Speaking of which, Mastery Tree, please. I would like to pop my orb in. We have various styles here, all of which leading up to the gods of Kaldheim. And because they have, like, additional ones in some of these, because there's, like, 2 gods to a color, and some colors have extra. There's, like, other legendary creatures as well. Like, we have, with black, we have Egon, God of Death, and Valky, God of Lies. But I'm going the white path here, so this has Sigrid, God Favored, having something to do with them, Halvar, God of Battle, and Redain, God of the Worthy. So, with here we have, you can see a lot of them here. It was about a Rune of Flight, yeah. Kasima, God of the Voyage, Alrun, God of the Cosmos. Here with green we have Iseka, God of the Tree, Toski, Bearer of Secrets, and Tolvori, God of Kinship, is Divinely Favored. Each one also has like a rune involved. Torolf, God of Fury, Bergi, God of Storytelling, in red. I think I've kind of shown which ways these goes. With this is Rune of Sustenance is the rune, and then, yeah, going from there. But I'm going white, because Halvar is on here. Thank you. And now I will go to packs and see if it is indeed that I got more than one, or if it just doubled. Okay, it just double showed it. It didn't actually give me 2 packs. I did get that mythic rare and use it, by the way, already. The Scorpion God, because I'm still building an Extreme God deck. Sweet. Okay. So, newbies here. Craven Hulk. Can't block alone. A giant coward. That's extremely ironic. Abandoned at birth, the giant was raised by goats. Ironically, it grew up to be the most cautious member of the herd. That's a very funny story. It's probably going, why is everybody always headbutting everything? Be a weird growth path. I fought a Clarion Spirit, now I have one. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. Which is one of the reasons why I had to take that one out fast, is I knew that they'd eventually have an army of spirits. Dwarven Hammer. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you may pay 2. If you do, you create a 2/1 red dwarf berserker creature token, then attach Dwarven Hammer to it. Equipped creature gets +3/+0 and has trample. So it's a pretty big honkin' hammer. So, yeah. And by the way, that whole you may pay 2 thing is kind of like doing a kicker cost, but just phrased differently. So just saying. Ah, sweet! I liked, I've been liking this, card idea for a while, and now I have a Faceless Haven. It is everywhere and nowhere, a place unbound by logic, just beyond the real. This is a special snowland. It's not legendary, but it's a snowland. It has tap to add 1 colorless, or pay 3 mana from snow sources, or otherwise known as snow mana, and Faceless Haven becomes a 4/3 creature with vigilance and all creature types until end of turn. It's still a land. So it basically becomes a changeling-like creature for a while, which is kind of cool. It also goes back to some other old card ideas and stuff, but it's great that I got that one. It really is, because I was wondering whether or not to eventually pay a rare wild card for one, so I just got one randomly, so that's awesome. Okay, I think that'll do it for now, actually. I did the event, I got to get myself a new pack and open it, get my mastery orb going, and all sorts of stuff like this. And I got so much experience from doing all that I'm already nearly halfway into the next level, so that was intense. Anyhow, I'll be logging off for now. Hope to hear from you all later. And bye for now, everybody, and remember, MTG forever.